Hello everybody, I'm back again today, and today we have a little special guest. One second, I'm gonna let them pass by. Okay, now that they've actually gone, I can actually talk again. But yeah, today we are joined by a very special guest called, or named, my cat. Look at him. Look at him. He's so sweet. Do you see him? And the little one over there. Oh, kitty friend. Do you see him? Yeah, he's just looking out the window and hanging out with me. I love to do it. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so I'm back again. I've been working on some artsy craftsy stuff, and the weather here has been interesting. So let me grab the thing that I finished working on. Okay, so I have that. Put that there. But yeah, I'm just hanging out here with my kitty, my little kitty, fluffy friend. Okay, I got my little stuffy stuff. Okay, so I probably start at the beginning. So first I made this lace, right, that I just put in my hair. I kind of tie it like that, and it looks very nice. But from here, I wanted to expand it out and use it a little differently, and I also wanted not just the edge here to have material substance, but I wanted to also have more over here. So from this, I created actually this one first. This is the one that first came. This hair veil, I would say, because my friend Eric really thought that I should. He knows I really like lace, so he said, "Why don't you wear like something similar to a Catholic hair veil?" And I thought, okay. So then I looked at it. I thought, I can make something like that, but my own version. So as you can see, it's pretty cute. And then this is the first hair veil that I ever made. So it's just you put it in your hair like that. But I really noticed that I don't know if I wanted to be this band like that, so I wanted to make a tapered version where it goes like this instead. Do you see how it starts off thin, but then it gets bigger toward the middle and it gets smaller toward the end compared to this one, which is just all one band. And I think it actually came out, and I actually made it like that, but I think it came out actually really nicely. And I have to work the thread at the very end in still, but that's gonna take maybe 20 seconds, so that should be fine. But anyway, so yeah, this was the original design. It was a hair veil, right? And it goes in my hair like this, but it kind of sticks out, right? So then I made a tapered version where, see, it expands and then shrinks back down like that. And then when I put it on, it goes like that. So I think actually this is a really nice design, and I'm really happy that it came out this way. Isn't it nice? Can you see it? Look, if you need to pause it, go ahead. It doesn't bother me, but let me take my hair clip, put it in. See, it came out like this. Isn't it pretty? Do you see it? My neck isn't really hurting right now, or stretched in a very strange way, and that's my cat. But anyways, I think it came out really nicely. Work that little bang back into my hairline. Yeah, I think it came out really nicely. And it's not that I don't like this version, but I'm just saying that this came out a little, I think it doesn't stick out that weird. But I really like this original version too. So this is the original version, right? And then it's just one band, literally a band like that. Like it's one width the whole way through, but this one, it starts off thin, but then it gets bigger and it gets smaller again toward the bottom. And then this is how it looks. Isn't it pretty? I think it came out really nicely. I think it actually came out really nicely. I thought it would come out nicely, but then it came out really nicely the way after I made it. So I thought, oh, this is really cute. You know, I'm so artistic like that. I think it came out really, really cute. And then again, the little wave designs. My mom actually saw something. I think she saw this one, and she said, or she saw something of the Heavenly Waters design, and she said it looks like snowflakes. That's not what it's supposed to look like. It's supposed to look like the Heavenly Waters, which is a group of constellations. And then my channel name, which is Cetus, is supposed to be part of that group of constellations. So I named this design Heavenly Waters. And once I'm bored of this Heavenly Waters design, I'll probably make some other design based off something that I'm inspired by. But for now, I'm working with this a lot. Do you see that? Isn't it pretty? So then, you know, from the back, it looks, let me turn a little, it looks like this. Do you see it? It's cute, no? I think it's really pretty. I think it came out really nicely. I really do. Okay, so that's what I made first this week, and this actually took maybe a day or two on the weekend, and then didn't take that long. But alongside this, so from last week, or last 2 weeks, I've been working on this scarf slash veil, right? My navy one. So then if I were going to put it on, it look like this, maybe. I think it's really cute. I think it's also really pretty. The white accents match my white shirt. I think it actually came out really cute. Don't you think? I think it came out really cute. With the little accents, and then it's like a wave. It comes down from this way, and then it comes back up like that. I think it actually came out really cute. It came out really cute. Anyways, so this is my navy version, right? And I had this other cloth, this cloth, right? And I did indeed attach a lace, and I made it, see? And then so once again, this was the one I made last week with the cloth with the lace attached. And then last week, that was last week. And then this last week, I made this softer version, or lighter cloth version, do you see? Isn't it pretty? And it has it on both sides, see? So the reason I was able to make this one so much quicker, this lace, which this one took a week, while this one over here took 2 weeks, is because if you look at the lace, let me show you very carefully. See the lace? So this one I made last week, and there's more detail, right? Whereas this one is much more open. I kind of basically removed the inner part so I could just make it very, very see-through, and that actually really made it easier and quicker to make because I didn't have to make all the details. I just made it very very open work like this, open lace work. But then it actually made it quicker. So then if I were to take this off, my little hair veil, I think it actually came out really pretty. Isn't it pretty? Isn't it pretty? Let me know. I know I don't usually say I don't usually say most YouTubers go out on the channel and say, "Hi guys, welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to talk about yada yada yada, and we're going to do blah 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 blah, and after that we're going to do da da da, and then like, comment, and subscribe. Like, comment, and subscribe." I'm probably not going to do that because I just think it's weird. If you have something to say, you can say it. It doesn't bother me. Just please be not be respectful, but just be polite in the comments, okay? Have some manners, okay? I don't want to have to delete your comment and block you. But anyways. Whatever that was. But anyways, yeah. So this is last week, right? And when I put this on, like if you put it on your hair, it looks like this. I guess, if I were out and about and I just needed to take a nap, I would probably throw this on and go like, but I don't know if I would actually do that. Maybe I would find a sofa somewhere and just cover my face like this so that people can't see my sleeping mug. But this is my navy one, so maybe it's more winter or late fall. But then this other one that I have, so this is the one I made recently. This one, it's not as wide, see? It doesn't have as much width. So compared to that, this one, the other one, this one is much lighter, and it's also, so you can see the back of my head fairly well. But I think it's actually really pretty. And then just see these little accents. I think it's actually really pretty. And I think it came out really great. I think my cat really liked it because I just set it on, cats, if you know anything about cats, you would know that if you set something on the floor, like a piece of cloth or like even a t-shirt that you just folded from the laundry, the cat is going to find it and the cat is going to sit down on it. So now like that cat over there, he absolutely went after this new scarf veil that I made. I just put it on the floor for maybe 5 seconds, and he immediately, when I found it, he went like this, and he laid on the top of it, because he's a cat, and that's what cats do. But it's okay, because he's my little precious cat, and I love that animal. Hi, kitty. Hi. I love you. He is such a sweet little animal. He's actually really well behaved. He doesn't get in trouble that often. He's really well behaved. I love my kitty. I love you, right? I think he's a little sleepy because he just had his dinner. So he's probably a little, all the blood in his body has rushed to his stomach. So there's not a lot of blood in his head. So he's probably really sleepy. But yeah, this came out really nicely. I actually really like this design. I'm not trying to boast about myself, but I'm just saying that I really like this design of lace that I made. This one. came out really nicely. And you know, there's one side and then there's the other. I think it came out really nicely. I really do. I think it came out exceptionally well, and considering the fact that I didn't know if it was going to come out nicely. Ooh, it fell off. It actually came out really nicely, but that was really nice. And I guess what you could also do is, one second, let me fold this lengthwise. Like this. See? And you could throw it over your shoulder like this. Isn't it pretty? Isn't it pretty? I think it's real. I think it is. I think it's really pretty. I think it came out exceptionally nice, especially with the accents here. Here, I'll throw it over my shoulder like this. I think it came out really nicely, I think. I mean, I guess I could wear two of these together, like this. But I think it would be too much going on. Let's find out, see? Yeah, it's a lot going on. I wouldn't wear two at the same time. It's too much to take care of. I'm just saying that it came out really nicely. See? Maybe I should, you know, because the weather is getting colder here, I'll talk about this more since it's now past the 10-minute mark and now I can gossip. But yeah, I made this. This is the one from last week, and the one I'm wearing now, this is this week's. Or this is last week. And this last week, I was making this one. I think it came out really nicely. But it's getting colder here. Not colder, but cooler here, because it's now around the middle of September, and I'm in the Pacific Northwest, so it's gonna start raining soon. But what can one do? You know, I just suppose I guess we have to deal with it. My cat and I will have to snuggle a little more at night, but that's fine because he lays right here and I just snuggle with him. That's okay. But anyways, yeah, so it's getting colder here. One good thing about cold weather though is that because it's less cold weather, I think I wrote this in my agenda. Where is it? Yeah, my agenda. I wanted to talk about this. What was it? Yeah, so I wanted to talk about how cold weather is coming, and then one good, you know, I try to find the good things, and I'm not trying to be optimistic to the point where it's insufferable, but I try to be optimistic to the point where I'm being realistic, but also looking at things in a more optimistic fashion, but still reasonably, I would say reasonably optimistic. So I try to be reasonably optimistic about everything, and that includes cold weather, even though I hate cold weather and I don't really understand people who are obsessed with the winter season. But one good thing is I get to snuggle with my kitty, because he loves to snuggle with me during the winter because he's from the desert and I'm from the desert. We're both from the Middle East, so we don't really like cold weather. But that's fine. But another good thing about cold weather, so this is, I thought about this very carefully and I realized it's a good thing because during cold season, all the bugs go away, especially roaches. So there's this story with me and the roaches. So one time I was sitting on the lawn somewhere and I was just eating ice cream, right? And then because it was summer, it was during the summer, okay? So during summer, I was just minding my own business eating ice cream because I just like hot weather and I like to sit outside and just eat ice cream and enjoy the ice cream in the hot weather. I don't know what it is, I just like to do it, okay? And then a cockroach was in the field with me, and apparently it found my ankle and it started to crawl up my ankle toward my, I was in my upper leg, and I got so scared, so I took my leg and I went, ugh! And I literally I basically catapulted the cockroach into outer space. And if that were not embarrassing enough, because one second I'm just sitting there like this, and I go, like that, but a group of summer camp kids were walking by, so they saw this one person who was sitting on the grass just enjoying ice cream, and all of a sudden the next second he's going like that. So that was pretty embarrassing. So thankfully during the winter I won't have to deal with that because there's no roaches. There are no roaches to attack your ankles. I really like my ankle too, so I hope the roaches don't come to attack my ankles during the winter. And from what I understand, they will not be because it's too cold for them. So that's a good thing. What else do I want to talk about? Oh yeah, so you know the movie, so you know the movie The Little Mermaid, and then there's Ariel, and then there's the little yellowfish who's kind of not so smart, and then there's also the lobster. What's his name? It's Sebastian, right? I think it's Sebastian. But anyway, so I was talking to my friend Eric. There I mentioned Eric again, and we're just talking about Under the Sea, the song that's very famous. And I thought I had a really great impression of the Sebastian when he sings, because I just thought I had a great impression. And then my impression basically is, what's wrong? What's wrong? Hi. What's wrong? Do you want to come over to this windows? Hi. Hi. Do you want to say hi to everybody? Hi, everybody. What's wrong? Do you want to hang out with me? Come here. Or do you want to go back to your windowsill? There. I love my kitty. My kitty. Do you want to go over here? I think I have my phone right now on the windowsill, and I think he wants to go to the windowsill. There. Better? Better? Do you like that? I think he does like it. Do you like that? What do you want to say? What do you want to say? What is it? Do you want to go to my bag? 1 second. Oh, I think he wants to say environment. I'll be right back. That's the second time I paused this video, so I guess that's interesting for you to all watch. But anyways, yeah. So I was saying that I think I have a really good impression of Sebastian from Under the Sea when he's singing it, and he goes, "Under the sea, darling, it's better, that is wetter, take it from her." And I thought I actually did a really good impression, but then Eric said, you sound like you're possessed by a demon. And I said, is that alluding to, what are you trying to say about me? And he said, no, you just have he said, your impression is awful. I think it was either Eric or someone who was with us at the time, and I thought, oopsies. But I just wanted to ask, is that a good impression? I thought I did a pretty good impression. And I'm not trying to make fun of the guy who's saying it, I just thought he sounds like that. So I sang it like that. Does that make sense? Okay, I would never make fun of people in the way they talk. Just like, we're not in kindergarten. Get over yourself. We're not doing that. But anyways, yeah. I thought I had a great impression. And then what else do I want to talk about? Where's my notepad? I just had it too. So I talked about cold weather. I definitely talked about cold weather. I talked about Under the Sea, Sebastian. He might come back sometime soon. But what else I want to talk about? How should I say this? Okay. So you know how there's reels on YouTube or TikTok or Instagram? I have no idea if Snapchat has that either, and I never use Snapchat because I think the fact that you have to make a little cartoon figure of yourself that's really ugly is unbecoming. So I don't use Snapchat. No shade, just I don't want to use it. But anyway, so there are people out there who edit reels where they're talking like this, but the thing is they edit themselves. I better make sure my scarf stays still, but they edit it so that they zoom in on their face over and over. I zoom in and zoom out, so they're like that. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like they zoom in and out of their face so many times, and they're trying to, I guess, put emphasis on whatever, just saying like, I'm putting emphasis on my words or something like that. And it's just, I remember seeing that for the first few times, and I was just downright irritated because it's obnoxious and it's distracting. So whatever you're trying to talk to, you could be talking to me about rescuing cats from the street. I have no idea what you're talking about because I'm interested in the fact that your nose holes are in the camera's lens. I can't pay any attention to anything except for the fact that your nose and your mouth are taking up the entire screen of my phone. So I can't pay attention to anything else you're saying. So I'm just saying that, some people might really like those kinds of video creativeness or whatever. I think that's awful. So I'm just saying that those kind of edits irritate me. I think bad edits or anything with a bad edit is just irritating. And, I'll talk about this some other time here. I'll write that down. And I'll talk about that next time because this is about 19 minutes and I don't want to talk too much today because I don't want to waste everyone's time. Anyways. Okay, I'll talk about that next time. Yeah. I didn't get around to everything I wanted to talk about, but that's fine because it just leaves topics for next time. And I can always talk about other stuff too. So yeah, that's just what I wanted to talk about today with my scarf. And I think I'm going to work on, this tapered hair veil. I'm gonna try to make it so that it starts off thin, but it gets even bigger back here, like on the back of my head, so that it actually falls more over the back of my head, because right now it's just kind of, you saw it was around here, right? So I'm gonna try, excuse me, I'm gonna try working on this a little more. Yeah, that's just what I wanted to talk about. Hopefully the weather doesn't get too cold here too soon, because I actually really do like sunshine, and because the Pacific Northwest is known for having a lot of rain during the winter season, it's kind of not so great for me. But well, I guess we'll have to get through it somehow. Plus, it makes it difficult to film because there's not as much good lighting. I probably should have done that earlier. Anyways, it's harder to film in the winter because there's not so much great lighting, and usually I have to do it earlier in the day, or I have to do it on specific days that are sunny, which means it might be infrequent. But anyways, I'll try to film as regularly as I can. But I'm just saying, yeah, I guess winter is coming, but what can one do? Anyways, I just wanted to update y'all with my creative work, and I look forward to seeing you next time. All right, bye.